I woke up at 3 in the morning, drenched in sweat. The room felt like an oven. I reached for my bedside lamp, but my hand was shaking so badly I almost knocked over the glass of water I keep there for my heart medication. The digital thermostat on the wall glowed an angry red. 97 degrees. In July. In Phoenix, Arizona. I'm 68 years old. I've had 2 heart attacks in the past 5 years. My cardiologist has me on a strict regimen. No stress. Stay cool. Take my pills on time. 97 degrees in my bedroom could kill me. I stumbled out of bed, my heart hammering in my chest like it was trying to escape. The hallway was just as hot. I made my way to the thermostat, punched the down button repeatedly. Nothing happened. The screen just blinked at me. Then it changed. 98 degrees now. My name is Robert Mitchell. Before I retired, I spent 34 years as an aerospace engineer. I designed climate control systems for spacecraft. I know thermostats. This wasn't a malfunction. Someone had locked me out of my own system. I grabbed my phone and opened the smart home app. It took 3 tries to enter my password because my hands were trembling. When it finally loaded, I saw it. Someone else was logged into my system. Right now, at 3 in the morning, the administrator account. But I was the only administrator. I need to back up. Tell you how I got here. Where are you watching from? And what time is it there? Because I need you to understand something. What happened to me could happen to anyone. Your parents, your grandparents, maybe even you. 6 months ago, my wife Sarah died. Breast cancer. We'd been married for 42 years. She was everything. After the funeral, I was lost. Our son Michael tried to help. He'd call every day. Come by on weekends. But he lived 3 hours away in Flagstaff with his wife Jennifer. He had his own life, his own job. I didn't want to be a burden. Jennifer was the one who suggested the smart home upgrade. She showed up one Saturday morning with her laptop and a shopping bag full of devices. Smart thermostat, smart locks, security cameras, video doorbell, motion sensors. I told her I was fine with the old thermostat, the one with the dial, the one that worked. She smiled, that patient smile, the one that says you're old and you don't understand. Dad. She called me Dad, even though she'd only been in the family for 8 years. This is for your safety. What if something happens and Michael and I can't reach you? With these cameras, we can check on you. Make sure you're okay. Michael stood in the doorway, nodding. He looked so much like his mother. Same eyes, same way of tilting his head when he was concerned. It would make us feel better, he said. After Mom. He didn't finish. He didn't have to. I looked at the dark circles under his eyes, the way his shoulders slumped. He'd just lost his mother. If this made him feel better, I could live with some cameras. Okay, I said. If it helps you sleep at night. Jennifer's whole face lit up. She spent the next 4 hours installing everything. Showed me how to use the app, how to adjust the temperature from my phone, how to see who was at the door without getting up, how to lock and unlock the doors remotely. I've set up an admin account for you, she explained, fingers flying across her laptop screen. And I've created accounts for Michael and me, just in case you need help. But you have full control. See? You're the main administrator. It all seemed helpful at the time. Convenient, even. I could turn off lights without getting out of bed. Check if I'd locked the front door without walking all the way across the house. See my front porch when someone rang the bell. The first month was fine. Good, actually. Jennifer and Michael would text me when they saw the mail carrier on the camera. They'd remind me to take my medication when they noticed I hadn't moved around much in the morning. It felt like caring, like family. Then little things started happening. It started with the thermostat. I'd set it to 74 degrees before bed. Comfortable, not too cold, not too hot. But I'd wake up at night, freezing. The thermostat would be set to 68. When I mentioned it to Jennifer, she said the system had an eco mode that adjusted temperatures automatically to save energy. Made sense, I guess. Then the front door. 3 times in 2 weeks, I came home from my morning walk to find the door unlocked. Not just unlocked, wide open. The first time, I thought I'd forgotten to close it properly. The second time, I started to worry. The third time, I called Jennifer. The system probably glitched, she said. Her voice sounded strange. Distracted. I'll remote in and check the logs. The logs showed nothing. No record of the door unlocking itself. Must have been user error, Jennifer said. Maybe you're not waiting for the lock to fully engage when you leave? But I knew I'd locked it. I'd heard the click, the deadbolt sliding into place. More things. The security cameras would point in different directions when I checked them. I'd position one to watch the backyard, and the next day it would be angled at my bedroom window. The living room camera that was supposed to monitor the front door kept rotating to face the interior, watching me. When I called Jennifer about it, she said the cameras had a patrol mode that scanned different areas throughout the day. For better security coverage, she explained. You can turn it off in the settings, if it bothers you. I tried. The setting would change back by itself within hours. The night everything changed, the night I woke up in that 97-degree room, I finally admitted something was very wrong. This wasn't eco mode, or patrol mode, or user error. Someone was controlling my house. Someone wanted me uncomfortable. Or worse. I'm not stupid. 2 heart attacks teach you something about mortality, about what extreme heat can do to a body with a weak heart, about how an accident could look natural when you're 68 with a medical history like mine. I sat in that sweltering bedroom, my phone screen illuminating my face in the darkness, and I stared at that administrator account logged into my system. The username was just letters and numbers. Not mine, not one I'd created. I should have called the police. I should have called Michael. I should have done a lot of things. But something stopped me. A voice in my head. Sarah's voice. Maybe. The one that always told me to think before acting. To gather information before making accusations. Instead, I did something different. I pulled up my banking app and transferred $5,000 to a private investigator I'd found online 3 weeks earlier. I'd been researching, you see, quietly, because I needed to know if I was crazy or if something real was happening. His name was Marcus Webb, former FBI Cyber Crimes Division. His website said he specialized in digital surveillance and smart home security breaches. I'd contacted him after the 3rd time my door had been left open. Told him I thought someone was hacking my smart home system. He'd been skeptical but willing to take my money. At 3:30 in the morning, I sent him a text. It's happening right now. Someone's in my system. Changed my thermostat to 97 degrees. My phone rang 30 seconds later. Don't touch anything, Marcus said without greeting. Don't log out. Don't reset the system. I need to see this while they're active. I'm going to have a heart attack if I don't cool down this room, I said. My shirt was soaked through. Open a window, go to another room, but leave that phone exactly where it is. I'm remote accessing your account right now. I went to the guest bedroom, opened the window, sat on the bed that Sarah used to use when I snored too loud. My heart was still racing, not just from the heat, from fear, from the realization that someone was actively trying to hurt me. In my own home. Marcus called back 40 minutes later. The sun was just starting to lighten the sky. You were right, he said. His voice was grim. Someone cloned your administrative credentials. They've had access to your entire system for at least 6 weeks. Probably longer. I've been running traces. The activity patterns are interesting. Want to know when most of the access happens? Tell me. Between 2 and 4 in the morning. When you're asleep, they've been testing things, raising the temperature gradually, unlocking doors, moving cameras, like they're learning your patterns, building up to something. My mouth went dry. Building up to what? That's what we need to find out. I've documented everything. Screen recordings, access logs, IP addresses. But Robert, I need to ask you something. Do you have any idea who might want to hurt you? I thought about my life. A retired engineer, a widower. I had my military pension, my savings. The house was paid off. Sarah's life insurance had been substantial. We'd lived modestly, invested well. I was comfortable, more than comfortable, but I'd never thought of myself as wealthy. No, I said. I can't think of anyone. What about family? Kids? Anyone who might benefit from your death? The question hit me like cold water. I have one son, Michael. He's a good man. He wouldn't. Spouse? Jennifer. His wife. She's the one who installed all the smart home equipment. The silence on the line stretched out for a long moment. Robert, Marcus said carefully, I traced the IP address of the administrator account that was active in your system tonight. Want to guess where it originated? I already knew. Deep down, I already knew. But I needed him to say it. Flagstaff, Arizona. 3 hours north of you. I can get more specific with time, but I'd bet my license it's coming from your daughter-in-law's location. I spent the next week pretending everything was normal. It was the hardest thing I'd ever done. Michael called to check on me. I asked about his work, his garden, the weather in Flagstaff. Jennifer sent me cheerful text messages. Reminder to take my pills. Funny memes. Had I eaten lunch yet? Every message felt like a knife between my ribs. Marcus worked in the background. He installed counter-surveillance equipment when I told Jennifer I was going to visit an old Air Force buddy in Tucson for a few days. Hidden cameras of my own. Audio recorders. He locked down my smart home system with new credentials that Jennifer couldn't access, but we made it look like I was still using the old system. A digital decoy. We need to catch her in the act, Marcus explained. Right now, we have suspicious activity. But a good lawyer could argue it was a system glitch. Sharing passwords. Innocent explanations. We need to prove intent. How? We wait. We watch. And we see what she does when she realizes she's losing access. The first sign came 3 days later. Jennifer showed up at my house unannounced. Said she was in Phoenix for shopping and thought she'd stop by to say hello. She'd never done that before. She hugged me at the door. Looked around the living room like she was checking for something. Is everything okay with your smart home system? She asked, her voice light, casual. Michael said you mentioned the thermostat was acting up? I hadn't mentioned anything to Michael. I'd been very careful. It's fine now, I said. Must have been a temporary glitch. She moved toward the thermostat. Let me just check the settings. Make sure everything's configured correctly. I watched her pull out her phone, watched her try to access the system, watched the frustration flicker across her face when the app wouldn't connect. That's weird, she said. My account isn't working. Did you change the password? I don't think so. I lied. Technology confuses me. You know that. She spent 20 minutes trying to troubleshoot, made excuses about network issues. Finally, she said she needed to leave, had to beat traffic back to Flagstaff. But I saw something in her eyes, something cold and calculating, something that made my skin crawl. Marcus called me that night. She tried to access your system 47 times in the last 6 hours, using multiple devices, multiple IP addresses. She's persistent, and she's escalating. What do? We give her an opportunity. Let her think she's found a way back in. See what she does with it. The trap was simple. Marcus created a vulnerability in my system, a backdoor that would look like a security flaw, something Jennifer might discover if she was looking hard enough, which she was. She found it in less than 48 hours. At 2:15 in the morning, my phone buzzed with an alert from Marcus. She's in, recording everything. I'd moved to my guest bedroom again. My real bedroom had 3 hidden cameras now, each with night vision, each transmitting to Marcus's secure server. I stayed awake, watching my tablet, watching the feed from my own bedroom. At 2:30 I saw it, the smart thermostat display changing. 74 degrees, 76, 80, 85, 90. It kept climbing, the same pattern as before. But this time, I was watching from another room. This time, I had proof. But Jennifer didn't stop at the thermostat. At 2:45, I heard my front door unlock, the distinctive click of the deadbolt retracting. I grabbed my phone, ready to call 911. But the door didn't open. Instead, I heard another sound. The back door, also unlocking. She was creating entry points, ways for someone to get in while I was supposed to be unconscious from heat exhaustion. My hands were shaking as I texted Marcus. She's unlocking all the doors. I see it. Don't move. Police are already on the way. I called them 10 minutes ago. At 3 in the morning, I heard a car pull up outside. Not a police car, a regular sedan. I watched on my security cameras as someone got out. Male, medium height, wearing dark clothes and gloves. He tried my front door. Found it unlocked. walked right in like he owned the place. I stayed in the guest bedroom, door locked, phone in my hand. My heart was pounding so hard I thought this might be how it ends. Not from Jennifer's heat trap, from pure fear. I heard footsteps in the hallway. Slow, deliberate. They stopped outside my bedroom, my real bedroom, where I was supposed to be sleeping. Maybe unconscious from the heat, maybe already dead. The doorknob turned. The door opened. I heard the man's voice, quiet, talking to someone on his phone. He's not here. The bed's empty. A pause. Listening. I'm telling you, he's not in the bed. Did he leave? Another pause. No, the car's still in the driveway. Check the camera. Yes. What do you mean you can't access them? That's when the police sirens started. Multiple units. They'd been parked around the block, waiting for Marcus's signal. The man in my house ran. He made it as far as my backyard before they caught him. Turned out he was Jennifer's brother, an ex-con with a record for assault. She'd paid him $5,000 to make my death look like a home invasion. An old man with a heart condition, surprised by an intruder. Heart attack. Tragic, but not suspicious. Jennifer was arrested at her home in Flagstaff at the same time. They found everything on her laptop. Searches for how to trigger heart attack remotely. Smart home vulnerabilities. Undetectable murder methods. Forum posts on the dark web asking about eliminating elderly relatives. And the reason. Always the reason. Michael's company had gone bankrupt 6 months before Sarah died. He'd lost everything. Their savings, their house. He'd been too ashamed to tell us, too proud to ask for help. Jennifer knew that I'd updated my will after Sarah's death. Everything went to Michael. The house, the savings, the life insurance. Just over $1.2 million. But Jennifer also knew about Michael's diagnosis, the one he'd been hiding from me. Stage 3 colon cancer. The same cancer that killed his grandfather. He had maybe 2 years. Probably less. If I died first, Michael inherited everything. And when Michael died, Jennifer got it all. But if Michael died first, the money would go to cancer research. That was the clause Sarah had insisted on. She'd lost too many family members to cancer. She wanted something good to come from our deaths. Jennifer didn't want to wait. She didn't want to risk me changing my will. She didn't want to gamble on me outliving Michael, especially with my heart condition. So she tried to kill me first. Michael came to see me 2 weeks later. I was still at the police station, giving my statement for what felt like the 100th time. He looked terrible, thin, gray, sick in a way that had nothing to do with the cancer. I didn't know, he said. His voice was barely a whisper. I swear to God, Dad, I didn't know what she was planning. I wanted to believe him. He was my son, my only child. But I'd spent 2 weeks going through evidence with the FBI, and some of that evidence suggested he'd known more than he was admitting. She used your phone to text me, I said. Reminders to take my medication. Questions about whether I'd locked the doors. All to establish a pattern of caring, of concern. She must have taken my phone when I was sleeping. Michael. I looked at him. Really looked at him. Saw the way he wouldn't meet my eyes. The texts came during the day. When you were at work. Were you really so distracted you didn't notice her using your phone? He didn't answer. The smart home system? I continued. She showed me the admin account she set up for you. Did you ever use it? A few times. Just to check on you. At 2 a.m? His face crumpled. I was worried about you. After Mom died, you seemed so lost. I just wanted to make sure you were sleeping okay. That you were safe. Were you checking on me? Or were you helping Jennifer monitor when I was most vulnerable? I would never. Dad, you have to believe me. I didn't know she was planning to hurt you. I thought she was helping me take care of you. Maybe he was telling the truth. Maybe he really was that blind, that trusting. Or maybe he'd convinced himself that what Jennifer was doing was somehow justified. That my death would solve all their problems. That he deserved that money more than cancer research. That I'd lived long enough. I don't know. I may never know. What I do know is this. Jennifer pleaded guilty to attempted murder, conspiracy, and a dozen other charges. She got 18 years in federal prison. Her brother got 12. Michael wasn't charged. The FBI said they couldn't prove he knew about the murder plot, but they also couldn't prove he didn't. My son visits once a month now. We sit in my living room, the smart home system completely removed, replaced with old-fashioned thermostats and basic locks. We don't talk about Jennifer. We don't talk about the night her brother broke into my house. We don't even talk about the money. We talk about his mother, about memories, about the life we had before everything fell apart. He's getting treatment. The cancer is aggressive, but he's fighting. I offered to help with medical bills. He refused at first. Too proud. Too ashamed. But eventually, he accepted. Because what else could he do? I changed my will. Half goes to Michael. Half goes to cancer research in Sarah's name. I told Michael about the change. Watched his face when I explained. He just nodded. Said it was fair. Said it was what Mom would have wanted. I don't know if we'll ever fully repair what was broken. Trust is like that. Once it's shattered, you can put the pieces back together, but the cracks still show. You can still see where it broke. But he's my son, and I'm not ready to lose anyone else. The lesson I learned the hard way is this. Technology gives us the illusion of safety. Smart homes, security cameras, remote monitoring. We think we're protecting ourselves, protecting our loved ones. But every device you connect, every camera you install, every smart lock you enable, is another door someone can walk through, another window someone can break. And sometimes, the people you're trying to let in are the same ones trying to hurt you. If you're watching this and you have elderly parents or grandparents with smart home systems, please, talk to them. Make sure they understand who has access to their accounts. Make sure they know how to recognize when something's wrong. Make sure they're not alone in their vulnerability. And if you are the elderly parent, the one people keep insisting needs help, needs monitoring, needs smart systems for your safety, listen to your instincts. When something feels wrong, it probably is. When doors unlock themselves, when temperatures change without reason, when cameras point in directions they shouldn't, don't dismiss it as technology being confusing. Don't let anyone convince you that you're too old to understand. Trust your gut. Seek help. Document everything. Because the alternative is ending up like I almost did. In a room that's 97 degrees. With doors unlocked. With someone waiting for you to die. I'm 68 years old. I survived 2 heart attacks, a wife's death, and a daughter-in-law's murder plot. I'm still here. Still standing, still fighting, and I'm telling you this story so maybe someone else doesn't have to learn these lessons the way I did. The worst part isn't what Jennifer did. It isn't even wondering how much Michael knew. The worst part is lying in bed at night in my technology-free house with my old-fashioned thermostat and my simple key locks and realizing I'll never feel completely safe again. Not in my own home, not with my own family. That's what betrayal takes from you. Not just trust, but the ability to ever fully trust again. Where are you watching from? Is it late at night? Are you alone? Look around your room, at your devices, your cameras, your smart speakers, and thermostats, and locks, and ask yourself, who has access? Who's watching? Who's waiting? Because the call is coming from inside the house. It always was.